So which zoom level it works. Zoom level, I mean, if I go there. So very starting level is the 13s in zoom level. Let's have a look. So I was looking, so I see the waiting of the local host connection because it's need the GeoServer all service is called because there is a lot of data I need to be come very quickly and efficiently. That's why, because I need something to render somewhere to your data sets. So then here, this is blocked. The GeoServer is still not responding. It take time. So it's now responding properly. The GeoServer, you see the effect of the level of 13s and or depending on the zoom level, what you would like to set it here. So even though here the defaults that I have it here, that's the what's I know. So this is the 13 level GeoServer with the center coding point that I set it here. So that means we set coding points and the coding points we set up scales that you saw in the scales in the here the scales 2 kilometers and it's depending on the how zoom level is 540 and you here see the your overview maps the overview maps how it's located the closed loop these overview maps. And here the information I got, I need something to overview maps. You see that define the overview maps and I get some projection information and get resolution information because I need later for some resolution information to track the information from the for the feature information from the here. So I set in map control maps. It has a default control, the mouse position control, map scale map, and the overview 3. That means here you can look at here. This is the overview control, scale control, and then scale control here, and then the mouse position control. That's I in the show here. There's the mouse control position here. So then we define a generic maps, the general mapping map loading, so map object and target maps. That's the target maps that you define here. This is the target maps. This is the CSS class into the global style.css files. I will show you what is there here. Those CSS files I define for the different buttons, different input parameters, and this is one of the CSS file for the maps. So button maps, buttons, and then okay, this is our map geo application. So it has a width and height and has a positions and left and top, and depending your page size, depending your orientation of the page. And this is the bio maps and the CSS and top left button. I mean here, and then we have a maps, we have a control, that's the control that we set it here, 3 controls, the map positions, map scales, and overview maps. We set it here, map control, we define here and call it here. So as a control sections. That's everybody how the OpenLayer, the map constructor. So he said overview maps in center position, base maps layer, then start our different tile maps for the different purposes. So we see the address tile maps. That's I mean the address information from here, the address information to track it, the user plot information, building information, flow information, unit information. That's the informations. The other application did it, but at the moment I didn't finish it yet. For the Angular based application, how can you register your address? How can you register your plots and the buildings, flow and unit? But I am getting ready to build to deploy the microservices and call the microservices to build to build my geometry, so build the objects, the address object. When the this Angular based application works properly, and then you can get the really the effect that I mean here, uh, the means here these applications, and you can get the register plots with the colors, and then all the type of the information that you need to visualize and make a special pop-up or maybe something different to this for these cases. So that this is all the GeoServer definition. You see you can see this is one the same definition. So now we need to close look. So the buildings that we saw in the maps, and this is the call of GeoService. So I define the layer names and one variables, and we put it like new tile WMS service because we put it in the WMS service, and then you set it URL base URL. That's I mean. So base URL. This is the base URL that we set it here. So the constructor. Then later we will read the proxy and then set the respective values of the base URL. So then we pass the parameters, and then the parameters is here the layers name. So you have a group names and the layers name and tile name, and the server type GeoServer type and 0, and this one. So that's you can get it the idea of what I mean here. When I go there, the overview, how the link is created. That's I mean. So then let's go to the second page that we have it here, and then so this is the second page, and then this is one of the page that we are calling here. So you see the call of the service, the layer names, geometry underscore GIS underscore data underscore info, and this is the group names. So you see the name of the names and titles. So the name of the title. So we are trying to look for this the complete URL. You see the URL, the complete URL. So GeoServer is still not responding. So you see the complete URL, you can get the idea of what I mean. The GeoServer, the layer name and the service name. This here. You get the layer name and service name. So just this part of information is calling properly. That's I mean here. So the params means the parameters of the layer group names and layer names and the title and GeoServer type translation, the transparency, you can set it 0 or 0 none other values, and we define the layers, tile layers with your data sources, and then we add this layer into the this dot add layer into the maps. So here the float definition, because it's not still defined. So this is our road networks, complete road network. That's exactly the same things that you see that saw here. Also the definition of the road networks. You see the major roads, and then this is the minor roads networks here. So major road and then minor roads information. So you just call the base URL and the name of the groups and the name, the complete name, this one. This name or titles, that doesn't matter how it's call it. So you see that the group names and the same base URL, just this I already talked about that one, and base UI and GeoServer and exactly the same. We added this layer into the here, and then we also add this layer, the main roads, and then exactly the same thing, and then we put it like extra control of this maps and pages. So I didn't finish it yet. The one click